Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCG Amateur Rift, sponsored by Raidcall and Cybersportsnet. We're into the semifinals, game number 2. Team Purple here has up 1-0 over the competition, and we're going to be bringing, hopefully, a little bit of a revenge from our blue team today. So, picks and bans: Nocturne, Nautilus, Alistar. Those sound familiar. Yep, definitely all were banned last game. Flip side, Yorick, Shen, Malphite. So, it does look like Kennen not banned out this round, but they have now substituted that for a Malphite. Malphite with that top lane. There we go. Put up those blockers first of all. Kennen with those Kennen was banned. Malphite with the top lane dominance with that teleport worked out extremely well for Team Blue. They were able to keep a lot of control on top of the enemy blue buff, and that did really rob that mid lane a lot of oomph. So good on them. But this round does look like, since there is no Kennen ban, first pick, Kennen. ICU picks that up. Probably going to be hitting up that top lane. ICU was the top lane last round, and he was that Singed. So Singed, not exactly a stellar performance from his part, but he was up against Malphite. Malphite is something of a top tier pick these days, and it really showed. He was able to do a lot of work in that top lane, and again with those teleports he was able to lend his ultimate to a lot of different team fights, which allowed them to quickly snowball and into a 21-minute surrender. Purple team first picks Graves and Janna. Janna, possibly the most overpowered support in the game at this point. Gives everyone on our team extra movement speed. You can pass right through them. Has 3 CCs to give to that Graves. So it's going to be very similar to that Corki Tarek combo, and it does look like our competition has figured it out. It's going to be Corki Tarek here for Team Blue. Why is my stream misbehaving? Maybe it's just me. Either way, Tarek and Corki has proven themselves to be a very deadly combination. We do got a lot of sustain and a lot of burst. That Dazzle Shatter combo, especially with the Phosphor Spawn, the machine guns, then later on at level 6, throw in both ultimates. It is a lot of burst. And last game in that bottom lane, the AD Graves was just not able to stand up to it. But that is also the danger of picking your AD and your support first. You can get countered very easily, and if there's any lane you don't want to get countered in, it's probably that bot lane. That late game AD right click to win mentality is very, very important, and unfortunately that Graves, most farm on his team, but it still paled in comparison to what Team Purple was able to bring to the table. Does look like they are going to pick up a Skarner, and a Skarner most typically in that jungle. He did extremely well last round in his jungle, was able to help get the first blood, multiple kills on mid, and a lot of cleanup as well. But I do see a Twisted Fate. Now, I'm very curious. A Twisted Fate, God, I haven't seen a Twisted Fate in ages, but Twisted Fate and Shen are a very deadly combination. It means, bam! 3 people already on top of you, no problem. Just throw in a Pantheon, and that's all you need with a Nocturne, and you have a nice global team. Gangplank just for the fun of it. But yeah, AP Twisted Fate, AD Twisted Fate could go either way. I do believe EV card was their mid last game, so I kind of want to say it's going to be an AP Twisted Fate in the mid, but his competition, looking at it, it looks like maybe it's going to be that Kennen. Because we do have an Irelia as well as a Shyvana now picked up for Team Blue. And Shyvana, a very durable top lane as well as a jungle. Same with Irelia, but Irelia you typically do see more in that top lane capacity over top of either the Shyvana or the Kennen. So since we do have a Kennen and an Irelia, I do want to say Irelia will be top, which means it will be an AP Kennen mid against the AP Twisted Fate. Now both can clear waves fairly decently. I do want to give a little bit of an advantage to that Twisted Fate. So basically it'll just come down to the ganks, I guess. Like, if we're going to have a Shyvana in the jungle pre-6, the ganks aren't really that hard hitting. Whereas Skarner, pre-6 and after 6, I guess post-6, his ganks definitely have a lot of oomph in them. So, I don't know, it looks like a little bit of a weaker early game here from Team Blue. Game is now started, so we can take away the blockers so we can show you guys what's up. I don't know if this seems a little. Oh, the game didn't start. Okay, fine. I was gonna say we had a Janna with a smite. That didn't make any sense. Okay, well we got 30 seconds. That's fine. Cation is their last pick, and he is going to be Udyr. So Udyr could be in the jungle, or Skarner could be in the jungle. If I have to give a guess, I'd have to say I see Lane Deer more often than I do see a Lane Skarner. So that will be our picks and bans for the evening, guys. So Yorick, Shen, Malphite, Nocturne, Nautilus, Alistar. Very, very beefy champions, all banned out. And what's left over? I mean, we got an Aurelia with a Triforce, maybe into a Guardian Angel. Could definitely work. We got the Scaling Armor of Shyvana. That will definitely do a good amount of work as well. The Shatter Aura coming out from Taric can definitely lend a lot of support. And now that finally the game has started, so there we go. We can take those off without any complaints. Bring back a little bit of background music. Flip side, let's see. Skarner can definitely do a lot with his shields, and we also have a shielding mechanism on Janna. So that shield on top of Graves just means it's going to powerhouse his attack damage way up there, and again, she does have a lot of CCs available to land a lot of auto attacks for that Graves. Now, again, we also have Udyr with Turtle Stance, Bear Stance combo. He can just keep flipping that, gets a lot of free health and free shields out of that as well. So it is going to be a Lane Deer in that top lane. It's been a while since I've seen a Lane Deer, but Udyr versus that Aurelia. I'm very curious to see how this will go, because Aurelia, of course, with Heightened Style, has a little bit of self-healing, as well as Udyr with his Turtle Stance. Get off those stuns, build up your monkey. Yes, your passive monkey stance. And that's going to be spelling the game here for game number 2 of the semifinals of the UCG Rift, guys. You know, powered by Raid Call. I do believe all the players are on the Raid Call servers, so big thanks to those sponsors. CSN as well for the brackets, and UCG for grabbing both Optimus Tom and I, throwing us in here, because you know, definitely having a lot of fun. It's always fun to be behind two competitive teams going head to head. Now, this is an amateur tournament, guys, but amateur tournaments are just the stepping stones on the way to semi-pro or even the big leagues. It's all about that experience. You need to get into those competitive mindsets. You need to be able to deal with the pressure, because, guys, when it counts in those multi-thousand, multi-million-dollar tournaments, you need to be as cool as a cucumber under all that pressure. And you know, that's exactly what a lot of the top teams have. Look at Team Solo Mid. They've been to multiple lands, and now they are on a 4-land winning streak, winning over $60,000 over the last 4 competitions that they have been in person. Team Fnatic, legendary for their composure under a lot of different stress, because they have so much LAN experience in any game. I mean, they're pretty much the oldest gaming organization out there, and you know, they can really bring the calm to the pressure. They perform well, and that is exactly what you want to be aiming for, which is why these amateur tournaments are terrific, because they get you into the competitive mindset, and they can really test your team in terms of cooperation, coordination, communication, the 3 C's of competitive gaming. But we are going to get this game rolling. Just God, stop hitting that button. It's just habit by now. So yeah, we are watching the Summoner's Rift Amateur Cup, and I think that's a pretty nice graphic that they made up here. So check out UCG Official, guys, on Twitter, CyberSportsNet, myself, Fourcore Jester, and Optimus Tom, because we just love what we do. We bring to you the games, the excitement to the masses, and we're going to get this game rolling. Anytime my client wants to jump into it. There we go. In terms of skin to win, Hired Gun, Graves, Earthrune, Skarner, Musketeer, Twisted Fate, very hot skin right now, versus only the Nightblade Aurelia. Everyone else just choosing to go default. Although they did redo Corki's default skins, which you can see very, I don't know, he kind of looks a bit more devilish, but a bit more devious. I didn't think there was anything wrong with his other one, but maybe it was just a bit too happy of a vibe. People had issues with it. He just looked a bit too cheery there on his iron flying mount, which, by the way, is also an amazing design. But here we go. Let's get rid of that music. In your top right corner, the previous winners of the last game, Team Purple. Does look like Team Baru is now Team Neuronane. But, they are up 1-0 over their competition. Here at the bottom blue corner is going to be ICU, Music to Theft, Magello to You, Killer Bee 5821, and Jables 666. They're going to need to pull a win out of their hat if they want to stay in this. Otherwise, it will go to a quick 2-0 to our Team Red as they will advance on to the finals. Now, last game we did see two stack-up invade strategies. Everyone was pretty much all together. Here, seemed to be a bit more spread out, and this is something you see more in the EU scene, whereas everyone is just kind of spread out. I call it the neural network. We got the mid, we got all the corners of the world just preoccupied, and we're looking for those invades. So, if Corky's right here, he's going to be able to spot this out. He maybe needed to move a little bit quicker than that, but he does have to burn that flash. Oh, this could be very dangerous. He's going to go straight back into them. And oh, the enemy team, if we had that gold card ready to go, that would have been a kill. But see, that's where the neural network is. You got to be very much on your toes because you're looking for that invade, but you don't necessarily have the tools to respond to it. There's the gold card after the flash. We do not have a flash left on Music to Theft. The exhaust goes out. He does get the summoner heal, but through that ignite, it's not going to be enough, and again, there is that invade. The neural network is literally just meant to find out where your opponents are and not engage, but I don't know why he went back into the bush. He showed himself, he put himself into a vulnerable situation, and Music to Theft does go down as the first kill of the game. Which means that that's going to be putting up a huge advantage to our top lane, which is going to be Udyr. Udyr heads on back, and he gets himself that regrowth pendant after the Boots of Speed. As a quick note, it was the Boots of Speed build again. Everyone just gets 3 pots Boots of Speed, and they head on out. They're looking for that gank, but it kind of, well, in this case, it did pay off. It sometimes doesn't pay off because you don't get those kills, and now you're screwed in lane because all you have is boots and pots. But at the same time, this round is exactly why you do go those boots and pots. You need the movement speed in order to get that first kill, and that is exactly what happened. 3 assists and a kill later. That's going to be putting us up about 600 gold, but, it's just going to be business as normal. And what? We have Irelia mid versus Udyr, and that leaves Kennen and Twisted Fate top? What? What's going on here? Does look like a little bit of a shift of the meta, but the lanes are actually pretty much bang on. I mean, the AP versus AP, the Bruiser versus Bruiser, nothing too weird there, but you typically don't see them mid. Now here comes the blue and the red Skarner. We are going to be forcing out that lightning flash and eating a turret shot to boot. Baru, not exactly the best of ganks, but at the same time, ICU is forced to go on back. He does not hit the Skarner, but it is just pure luck. He comes back into it. He does have to use the lightning rush again, and the flash burns it out. Baru, what an excellent trickster you are. Staying in that bush just out of reach, made sure that the shuriken will not hit, and that led Kennen to go investigate just a little bit more. Now, in terms of the mid, even with that extra regrowth pendant, it does not look like Udyr is very much on the offensive. And it is a Tiger Stance Udyr. Oh, we are in for a treat. Do not see those kind of builds that often. Now, this bottom lane, it is going to be Graves and Janna versus the Tarek Corky combination. And this is exactly what Team Red did to Purple last game. As soon as the AD and the support were picked up, it was really hard countered by the Tarek and the Corky combination. Another gank coming into this mid. The red and the blue buff with the stuns coming off with the ignite on top of that. Irelia goes back in, gets the kill on top of Baru and the double. Oh my goodness, that Irelia balls of steel. But he goes right back in with no health, able to pick up those kills. Here goes the ignite and with the health pod, but it's not going to be enough. Music to Theft does go down. That health pod just not enough to counter the burning damage, the burning true damage of that ignite. And because of that slip up in mid, that is going to be putting us into a pretty much on foot setting with Team Red. I mean, Skarner losing his blue and red is going to put him so far behind mid, and now Udyr, who did get the first blood, does have himself that Philosopher's Stone, which is good, but now he's down 2 kills to this Irelia. That's going to be putting her right back there into the money. In fact, she does have the most money in the game right now. And you can see that. The pots, the ward, and the philo stone. She's going to do some amazing work mid because of that extra double kill. And again, like, I kind of just discounted her. I was just like, oh, well, she's going to die, but they're going to die for it. But she just stayed alive so very well right there. Well played, Killer B 5821. Well played. Blue and red is going to serve her well. Now you can see Skarner doing a little bit of counter because we do have in this bottom lane the Shyvana lining up for a gank. We do have the pings go down, so it is not going to be something that will happen. We did check out the blue. Baru noticed that, yeah, it is gone. Top lane, fairly quiet so far, but they're just going back and forth in terms of a lot of harass. Baru going to be coming in here. He does not have level 6, so all they can hope to do here is just really pressure her out, make sure that those red and blue do start going away. Now, do we know that we have a Shyvana here? Yes, I think we do. Out goes that escape as well as the tornado, really controlling the enemy team. And that means that, yeah, this is going to be a defeated gank. And you are just kind of wasting your time down here, Shyvana. That is exactly what is going on. Out goes the stun shatter combo again on top of this Graves. But we don't have level 6 from either party. And again, Janna just really doing some really good work in that bottom lane, making sure that Graves does not go down. Trying to find this top lane kill. So here's ICU while all that bottom lane nonsense is going on. We do got the big flash as well as a lot of card damage going down on top of Kennen with that ignite. So EV card able to pick that kill up easy peasy. And yeah, that Musketeer, Twisted Fate, now level 6. Now, Twisted Fate, you know, we don't have a teleport on this team, as you do notice, but that's okay, because we have a Twisted Fate ultimate. It's almost as good as a teleport. It's a little bit more constrained in terms of range, but still, a gold card teleport can make and break some of these team fights. You might think, oh, I got the upper hand. Nope. Here comes Twisted Fate, and you're going to know he's coming because of that Destiny graphic that comes up over top of your head. So we're going to have to see how that's going to come into effect, because she is the first level 6. Killer Bee now also level 6. She should be able to clear out these waves with fairly relative ease with that ultimate. But it does look like she's actually doing very well for herself up against this Udyr. Udyr up against the ropes in terms of this mid lane. Let's just check out. Ooh, there's the Twisted Fate. Twisted Fate coming in bottom. Mellow to you is going to be just throwing down a lot of the damage. But again, we just got off those shields from Janna, and it is K. It's easy as that. So now, I don't know why Twisted Fate Destiny down here, but it looks like he's going to be heading up, going to be grabbing the blue. Lord knows Udyr doesn't need it. And it is an AP Twisted Fate to boot as well. So now he's going to go back to town, heal up. This is going to give a lot of free damage on top of this top tower for this Kennen. And Kennen is going to be able to get a lot of free CS and a lot of free farm out of it. So maybe a little bit of a miscommunication or miscalculation for Card. Look at that beautiful tornado landing off a lot of damage on top of this bottom lane combo. Again, Janna as the support instead of Blitzcrank, just able to keep her carry alive so much better. If you recall, last game, Blitzcrank, every time he went and pulled something, it was just pulling the AD closer to killing his own. It's kind of actually almost like working on a 3 versus 1 in that bottom lane. Now, we do got Shyvana in this bottom lane. Again, I'm not too sure that we actually know about it. We don't have any vision, but it does look like we're going to head on back to town, just waste her time a little bit longer, and that means that she is, again, come down here for those ganks that are just not happening. So we got a little bit of an interlude here. Let's check out some of the creep kills. 63 for our Irelia player. She's doing some amazing work in that mid lane. Second place on her team is going to be Corki, 52, and then third place past that is going to be Shyvana, who's going to be actually missing out on her blue if they're not too quick and careful here. So ICU is going to notice that the blue is gone. He's going to throw down the ultimate, trying to go for an EV card, but now Baru is going to have to flash on over here. Beautiful flash, but we are going to be chasing that with Irelia. Here comes that Shyvana as well, and it is going to be enough to pick up the blue and the red on top of that Skarner. So our mid lane Killer Bee doing some fantastic work overall. 3-0. In fact, has the only 3 kills on the team. And now again with the red and the blue. This is going to be spelling out pretty much disaster for our Udyr player in mid, because now he has to deal with this, and he's not dealing with it extremely well. She's almost at 70 creep kills. He's at 40. Might have gotten that first blood, might have been off to a roaring start, but just too many blunders so far and not enough CS is putting him really, really behind. Now, in terms of the carry on their on red team, it is Graves. That's not Graves. There's Graves. At 1-0, does have that BF sword. Still only the tier 1 boots, but hey, that BF sword is going to pay itself back. Look at Janna trying to get bursted down, but it's just not enough, and the ultimate comes down. That exhaust is too little too late. Corki does drop to the fearsome pressure of that BF sword on top of this Graves, and now with that shield, they are going to be doing a little bit of a tower dive, but here goes the tornado. Here comes... Oh, the kill in the mid, but it does look like NeuroNanny is going to be able to get out of this. No problem. Let's back that up. Check out mid. It is going to be a one-on-one Udyr as well as Irelia. Again, coming into the tower range. Here comes Twisted Fate. But it does look like the kill is going to happen. It took 2 ultimates and an Udyr, but hey, they were able to get that kill mid. Not a problem. That puts us up 5-3 for Team Red, and it's looking strong for them again to take this in a 2-0 sweep. Shyvana just kind of holding down that lane, but now since we do got 2 kills, plus we had to make sure Tarek went back to town, it is going to be another Dragon about the same time as last game. 10 minutes, 50 seconds, about the 11-minute 45, I believe, last game is when it was. So we're going to see the next one in and around the 17-minute mark, but you can see the repeated patterns here from Team Red. They're able to get off these big plays, and then they just clean up the Dragon. They clean up the buffs. I mean, they were able to control both the blue buffs for a short period there before Irelia finally did drop, and now that she has dropped, it will be, I believe, blue and red back to Udyr. Yes, Udyr has them again. So 11.5 minutes in, 5-3 with almost a 3,500 gold lead. There it is. 3,500 gold lead right now for our Team Red. They're doing extremely well for themselves. No huge items yet, because that would be ludicrous, but we do have that BF sword now already plotted out for Graves, who is 2-0 and 83 kills up. What a battle of the duels right there. Twisted Fate going in for the kill, just was not able to get it, and the return kill for that Kennen puts him on the board at 1-1-1. Now, Kennen does have that Hextech Revolver, something that we don't have for Twisted Fate, but Twisted Fate picking up that Sheen, going to be making that into a Lichbane a little bit later on. He also has that Sork Shoes, and he is at the 80 CS mark as well. The only person really able to rival that at this point is Irelia. And, you know, Irelia, again, she's really the shining jewel on her team at this point. Here comes that Skarner. We're going to go in for the kill. We are going to get that ultimate off, but I do see those exhausts landing on top of that Udyr. Udyr just not able to stand up to this damage. Now Baru maybe not able to stand up to it either. Here comes the Twisted Fate gank. And he is going to get off that combination on top of that Irelia, so excellent play right there. Able to pick up that revenge. Now he does have the guards! Oh, it's so very close. 29 hit points is what she's going to be escaping with. She's going to hit that backspace button. Look at this bottom lane. Janna with the ultimate, as well as the shield on top of that Graves. Graves flashes over top of that Corki ultimate, and he is going to be going for the kill. He gets off the buckshot before he does drop down to extremely low hit points. Oh no, Tarek, he's going in for the kill, but he does not have the cooldowns. And thus Graves lives to see another day. Man, what clutch plays going on right now. The red team turret does go down because Twisted Fate is babysitting that middle, which is going to be a little bit of extra and welcome global gold to Team Blue. They are down 6-7, but the gold difference still at about the 2K mark. In fact, it's about 3.5. before. Now it's at 2, so Team Blue showing that they're not out of this quite yet. And Graves may be going for a Bloodthirster first. He does have 4,300 gold to his name, but he, instead of picking up the pickaxe, he did get himself the Vamp Scepter and another Doran's Blade, so maybe he's just going to be settling in for a bit more of a farm-tastic game. In terms of the creeps, again, 100 now being hit at the 13:37 mark. Wow, what a clutch time mark for that. And we will be hitting that 100 mark fairly soon for Graves as well. Gotta say though, this Janna 004 been keeping her carry alive very nicely throughout this combination burst from Tarek and Corki, and maybe they're just making a point of it. Maybe they're saying, guys, we did this to you, and now we're gonna pick our AD carry and support first so that we can shut up that commentator, but now they're just shoving it down their throats. 3-0 for that Graves, 100 creeps, doing some fantastic work. Shyvana in the bush, just poking up a little bit, but is not going to engage. We do have that warded, so we know exactly where she is right now. And in terms of this Corki, Corki is so far behind. Corki is 0-4-0, 74 creep kills, only the 2 Doran blades. And that tornado is not going to hit anyone, but we are going to get that slow off onto Tarek and the buckshot to boot. Here comes the revenge machine gun, but it's more like a pellet gun at this point, just does not hurt. Here comes Bauru with his speed up, and it does look like, you know, we're just going to be making sure that we have a show of power in that mid. We're not going to be diving that Aurelia. It's very dicey to do that diving. What is TF doing? He's going to be coming down here. Maybe I thought that they had the blue buff timed out, but does look like he's just going to try to get in range for maybe a teleport. It does look like everyone is going to be shifting into this bottom lane. We did see Aurelia go off into the jungle. And now here's Bauru. He's going to be going in for the clutch ultimate. He is going to be landing it there atop of Tarek, and that is why you take a Skarner for that Tarek kill. Now we are going to have the Twisted Fate come in. Too little, too late. Gets off the stun card on top of Aurelia. Shuts her down. But she is able to pick up Janna in the process. So a nice team coordination again in this bottom lane. Just had to get that TF out of top so that we could get him down here for that kill. But a 3-for-1 exchange. They're going to take out these wraiths. No! Kennen took him out by himself. Here comes Shyvana, going to be trying to do some big damage, but the gold card comes out. EV able to land a lot of extra Lichbane damage, or sorry, Sheen damage. Not quite a Lichbane yet. And he's able to get that kill. Look at that Sheen proc looking very smart on him. Shyvana, I liked your spunk, I liked your energy, but unfortunately for you, it just is not going to work. Now we're just going to lifesteal ourselves back to full health. This Graves, make sure that this tower does go down. He might have to tank a tower shot here if he's not too careful. And yeah, he's going to tank one, but that's alright. Lots of lifesteal. He's so far ahead at this point that he just does not care. And that's going to put us up to a score of 11-7. You can see, again, the difference that this now 5,000 gold lead is really showing off here for Team Red. We have a lot of extra items, including almost a Rabadon's. My goodness, look at that. Twisted Fate. 130 creep kills, 4 kills to his name. Almost a Rabadon at 16 minutes in after the Sheen double Doran and Sorcerer's Shoes. He has a lot of money to his name. Now here comes Bauru. He's going to be, again, ultimating this Tarek. I have no idea where that tornado was going off, but that is going to be one dead Tarek. He heals himself, but it's not going to be enough. We do got Corki kind of poking in at the back, but again, Corki not really building any kind of damage as of yet. ICU does drop again as well, and that means that this dragon at the 17-minute mark, almost on the dot, is going to go down yet again to Team Red, putting them farther and farther ahead in gold as this game goes on. Bam! Another 1,000 added to it. 6,000 goals, 13-7. It's only 7 minutes in, ladies and gentlemen, which means that we're looking very much like that game number 1 that we had. Team Red here just has the powerhouse plays. And we just do not seem to have any kind of answer for them here on Team Blue. Now here comes Shyvana. She's going to speed herself up, and out goes the exhaust as well. Corki going to be trying to jump up here as well, but they just do not have the damage. He's just not going down nearly as long as he wanted to. But here comes the Twisted Fate with the gold card, and the Destiny means he cannot hide in that bush, and he's going to go down very quickly, that Corki. And now we are going to be doing a little bit of a tower dive. Another gold card combo comes out. EV card up 6-1-3 in terms of kills, 140 creeps, and we're going to be landing ourselves maybe an Aurelia kill here. Aurelia trying to do a little bit of deeks there in the bush, but it's just not going to be enough. Kayshawn getting some very sweet revenge right there as he is able to pick up that kill. 16-7, 18 minutes in. My goodness, 8,000 gold. It was like 5,000 gold a minute ago, but 2 kills and a turret means more gold. So we've tied up the turrets now, 16-7. Look at that Infinity Edge sitting very nicely on top of that Graves. That's how much gold he has. 7-0-3. The only champion not to die. He gets himself that Invulnerability Award and he rewards himself with an Infinity Award. And now out comes the very scary Rabadons. Look at that EV card. Rabadons 300 ability power, 18.45 seconds into this match. This is a ridiculous, ridiculous team, ladies and gentlemen. They are just so much in control of this team. Look at that! Those cards just decimated those creeps. They had no idea what was coming. They're like, oh, flying cards, not a problem. But they didn't see the House of the Flying Cards, which is a really cheesy martial arts movie. But at the same time, you throw cards, and they hurt. Here we go, EV cards, they're going to come in here. Nope, they didn't have a ward. They just needed to put up another one. Had they had that ward right there, could have been a very easy engage right up in top of those wraiths. But instead, we're just going to be pushing this mid. ICU 1-2-1. Does look like he's thinking of a Zonia's, but he's just so far behind in terms of money. Has that Hex Tech and has the Chain Vest. Maybe going for the Zonia's next because that's not part of the will of the Ancients. But still, 1-2-1, 84 creeps. Just, again, the money difference here is just mind-boggling, which is really ridiculous. Annoying TF is annoying, Justin. I guess the game ends in the next 3 minutes or so. But yeah, 16-7. It's looking really good. Wasn't it the House of Flying Daggers? Maybe. Maybe I just saw a different movie than you. Another kill lining up here into the top lane. Kaishun and Gredix looking very good there, but there is a tower. In comes Skarner, though. Skarner's going to be finding ICU. ICU does have to just flash on out of that, but we are having a lot of damage landing on top of the Shyvana. She has not done anything this fight, and it is going to go down pretty much not doing a single thing. The double kill comes out for Graves. He's able to pick that up. We might be able to get a little bit of a revenge, but Music Tooth Death throws out that heal. He does get himself that Skarner, but they are going to be trading an ace for one. What a dash. Look at that. Graves right through the wall, and he's going to be able to land quite a bit of damage. Ace comes out 11-0 Graves, 138 creeps, and a celebratory buckshot. Looks like that's a GG well played right there, ladies and gentlemen. 21-8 with 11,000 gold up. Team Red advancing 2-0 over top of Team Blue into the finals here on the Amateur Rift, hosted by UCG, CSN, as well as Raid Call. My goodness, that was an excellent game to watch in terms of Team Red. And, yeah. I hope that Team Blue can take this experience under their belts and just run with it, saying, guys, you got a little bit of taste of that competitive. You just go home, you just keep refining, you come back swinging next tournament. We will, of course, welcome you with open arms. But good game, well played. Team Red moving on to the finals. I'm going to go check in here with the officials, find out what we're doing, and we'll be bringing you guys the best of 3 finals coming up at you next.